Yeah. Like he's really over apparently, but it showed Paul backstage being like, no, lift the lantern up just so much in front of you. Okay, yeah, lift it to right here. I'm like, what is no?
It's all about camera.
The mystique is gone.
That's what it is.
It's horrible.
You said that during the podcast with Stone Cold. He said, I have to teach these kids where the cameras are, so when they come out, they put themselves in their best angle shots. You know, because you're not going to put headsets on them while they're walking down the ring.
Why don't you just go off of instinct? Why do you have to have 1,000 cameras?
Everything's overly rehearsed.
Yeah, it's overcooked.
You know, you got guys talking to each other in the ring, facing the hard cam, and you can see them talking to each other. It's not.
That's why I only really watch Botchamania. That's the only thing I watch is Botchamania. I don't even watch wrestling so much anymore. I just watch Botchamania.
Is there a bunch of Sin Cara matches? No.
There's actually, I think there's a specific Sin Cara Botchamania segment. Like it's just. Well, there's a second about. I think it's called like Too Much Talk. Everyone talks too much. Like, and it shows all the guys who talk. And like, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Fan wise, how can fans reach out to you on social media?
Pretty good. You know, I think wrestlers have an amazing platform in the sense that most people might dig what they see. They dig wrestling. They may not admit that publicly, but social media gives them a safe haven to be fans. And so you'll see these guys, whether they're talented or not, and they'll have a gazillion followers, like 100,000 followers. You're like, what? You know? So I kind of missed that boat because Twitter really wasn't a big deal as I was up there. Facebook wasn't a big deal when I was up there.
I think it was MySpace.
Yeah. And if you moved your top 8 around, people would get all pissed off, and you're like, what? I like to do seminars internationally because it helps kids break that mental stigma, and I think everyone has the ability to self-empower themselves, to really be self-empowered. And if I can assist in any way in helping them bridge the gap between thinking like, hey, I can do this, then that's really as rewarding as it gets for me, you know, because there's so much negativity that swirls around it. And most parents are going to be concerned for their kids, like, you're going to die, you're going to get your neck broken, blah, 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 blah. Look at all this bad stuff.
Well, that's why you get to train.
Well, yeah.
You train, you go to school, you do the right things. You don't just walk out of the backyard and into a ring.
Totally. You try to have a backup plan, or 2 or 3. You don't put all your eggs in one basket. You know, try to have other things that you love, because if you truly love wrestling, ask anybody. It'll break your heart at one point or another, and it'll repeatedly break your heart at one point or another. And if you don't truly have an insane belief in yourself, then you're not going to make it. And a healthy thing to do is to love something else. Doesn't mean it has to take precedent over wrestling or be number 1 or number 2, but it really helps. Even if it's just like an instrument, or you like to read, or you like to go running, or just exercise, not with just wrestling in mind, or just something. It doesn't mean you don't love it enough or anything like that, but it's just a healthy balance in your mind, you know? So, I grew up loving basketball and acting, so that was always an outlet for me whenever wrestling made me pull my hair out, you know, which it still does. It still does. But if I didn't care about it or love it enough, it wouldn't have that reaction in me, you know.
Yeah.
So, I'll always love it. I'll always love it.
Well, I appreciate taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah, no, hopefully we can do it sometimes.
Absolutely, we'll have to involve this guy over here.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Mr. RDP.
Yeah, Richie Rich.
Richie D. Gregg Promotions. I got to thank him for this interview.
This interview was brought to you by your friends at RDP Promotions. When you want the hottest wrestling talent in the world, just like WWE superstar Paul London, contact me. 3 letters you got to remember. It's RDP.
This is the hardcore icon, Just Incredible, and you're listening to Damage 365 Radio. Now that's not just the coolest, that's not just the best. Damage 365 Radio, now that's just incredible.
And we'd like to thank, again, former WWE Tag Team Champion Paul London for that great interview. We'd like to also thank Richie D. Gregorio of RDP Promotions for allowing us to capture that interview. Thanks to the Jersey Devil and D2W Wrestling for this past Friday. Check out their Facebook page again. If you want to reach out to Paul London on Twitter, you can reach him at LondonFU. That's LondonFU, one word. Next week on the show, we will have the president and head promoter himself of D2W, the Jersey Devil. We will also have a pre-recorded interview from Warriors of Wrestling with WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi, as he will be joining us, and we'll have total recap of that show from Warriors of Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, please help control the nitwit population and have your friends spayed or neutered. On behalf of Nick DeBeard, I am Coach Kev. Have a great weekend.